Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. And so I have a new video. I'm going to be ranking the worlds in Wizard 101 on a tier list. So we have, actually, should probably include a D. Actually, no, we should just leave it as S, A, B, C, and F. And so I uploaded the loading screens for each of the worlds in order by level, mostly. Actually, Grizzleheim should go after Dragonspire. There. So now it's in the order of how it is on the world door, mostly. Anyways, so yeah, so let's get into the list. So first we have Wizard City. And so I'm gonna put this one in the B tier. And so I'm judging this mainly based on before the revamped storyline, because the revamped storyline doesn't really make much sense. So yeah. Sorry, I was drinking some water there, but and it's a pretty the storyline is pretty basic, mainly because it's like the first world. And it's pretty generic zone. It does look very cool after the graphical update, but in general, Wizard City is pretty standard. And then we have Crocotopia next. Yes, that is Crocotopia is A tier. It does have similar storyline to Wizard City. It's a little bit on the basic side, but Crocotopia is probably my favorite world within the first arc. I love the Egyptian theme that exists in Crocotopia. It's very cool. So that's why I put it under the A tier. Now, next we have Marleybone. Marleybone. Oh, I think I'm gonna put this under the B tier with Wizard City. Because Marleybone, I don't know, I find it actually kind of boring and repetitive. I know a lot of people really like Marleybone. You also have to understand, though, that I played this version of Marleybone after the Pirate 101 version. So it was a bit of a downgrade from the Pirate Marleybone. Those of you, well, actually, no, you'll have to hear my ranking on the Pirate 101 tier list, which will be the next video coming out sometime later this month, probably. So, yeah. And now we have Mushu. Mushu is probably going to be a B tier as well. Pretty much for the same reason as Marleybone. Mushu felt pretty bland and repetitive. I didn't really feel that much from it. Same thing as well with the, I played the wizard version of Mushu after the pirate version. So, again, that may that may lower my, it had pretty high expectations. It didn't quite meet them. Dragonspire! Yeah, this one's actually gonna be an F tier. No, F. It's gonna be F. So, Dragonspire is F because it's so long. One of the longest worlds in the game, not by number of quests, because I know people like to bring that up a lot, Dragon Spire is long because there's a lot of towers where you have to defeat like so many enemies just to get to the end. And you have to like restart it if you die, which is awful in all kinds of ways. So, and also just Dragon Spire was just long. And it's I wouldn't say it's repetitive, but it just felt very grim and dark. I do like the lore of Dragon Spire though, which is why I was kind of debating putting it in C, but I think ultimately it just feels so dragged out and long. I had to put it in F. So Grizzleheim. Grizzleheim is gonna have to be, man. I'm trying to debate between B and C with this one. I think I'm gonna probably put it in. Ah, this is a hard one. I think I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and put it in B. And so, sorry, cannot talk today. Grizzleheim is going in B because of the difficulty is not as bad as many would like to say it is. Winter Tusk itself is hard, but I do like Grizzleheim. It's Norse themed, which I think is really cool. Um, based on Scandinavia, and I like they go into a lot of like mythology with this world, which I do enjoy. Um, I'm kind of a nerd for mythology and all that fun stuff. And again, Vikings are also very cool. So next, I believe this one is Celestia, right? Or is that the other? No, this is Celestia. Celestia is gonna be in C. How fitting, actually. So Celestia actually used to be higher on my rank, but I kind of came to the conclusion the plot makes absolutely no sense. Celestia would be an A tier world if its plot was not so weird. The pre-quest gives a lot more context into it, but they removed it, and you can't even do it at all anymore. For a while it's been optional, but now it just doesn't even exist. So, if that was a thing again, it would make the plot a lot more sensible. And I also, um, there's also some stuff later, like around the Crustacean Empire. The plot just like unravels. It makes absolutely no sense. So that's why it's in C. But everything else about Celestia I think is really cool. I like the introduction of astral magic. I also enjoy the environments. It looks amazing, the entire world for it's an older world, of course. It's been around since like 2010, but I think it looks really cool. So yeah, again, Celestia is gonna be C. This one, Wisteria. So Wisteria is gonna be the first S tier. Um, I love this world. It's my favorite of the side worlds that we get to experience. Um, it's a beautiful small world. It's a small world, but it's also a beautiful one. I enjoy like the plants, just the entire aesthetic of the world. Um, and also the whole like academy part kind of feels like something out of a Harry Potter movie. They were kind of trying to do that with Wizard City, but it feels more so in Wisteria with like the uniforms and all that stuff and the tournaments. Um, so yeah, and Wisteria is again a really small world, but the whole plot there with the spiral cup and all that, I think is really cool. The Tower of the Elephant is also a pretty cool dungeon. Even though it's not really worth farming, still a fun experience. So yeah, Wisteria is S tier, first one. Zephalia, surprisingly, is also going to be, oh, did not mean to do that. Zephalia is going to be an S tier as well. Zephalia, as some of you may know, if you've been watching the channel for a while, it's my favorite of the worlds in the game. So it has a special place in my heart. Zephalia has a lot of nostalgia with it. I love the environments. It's a lot of the savanna, jungle themes, um, uh, based around like Eastern Africa. So I find that all really cool. And it's again, a lot of the people there are unique. They're like elephants, giraffes, zebras, lions, all the animals you love as a kid thrown into a world. The plot is also pretty cool, going around saving the lost students. So yeah. All right. So next up is also Zephalia is where we kind of get more insight into Morganth. Like she kind of shows up in Celestia super randomly, but Zephalia we get a little bit more of her backstory. Same with Avalon, but Avalon is going to be in the C category. Avalon is a really another cool world. I would put it in the B tier if it wasn't so long and drawn out, because it really does kind of drag out for a while, and I don't know, it's just not that good. Um, the plot is cool, but it doesn't have much. Um, it's just getting the Sword of Kings and freeing King Artorias. So, like Morganth isn't even Morganth and her forces aren't there, but it is a world influenced by her because she created the situation of the king being trapped in the Pendragon. All right, up next is Azteca. So Azteca is gonna go in the B tier. Now, a lot of people do not like Azteca. I think a lot of the theming of Azteca is amazing. I love the music and environments. Amazing. It's based around like the Mayan and Aztec empires of history. Um, there's something about Azteca though that's more memorable than Avalon, but um, again, I think it's the music and the environments mostly. And also dinosaurs. Who doesn't love dinosaurs? But it does drag out quite a while. Avalon is long. Avalon, Azteca, both very long. Um, so yeah. Also, where is this? There's something out of order here. What is the? Oh no. Oh, here it is. All right, next we're gonna do Aquila. I don't know why it wasn't between Azteca and Chrysalis, but that's what it should be. So Aquila is gonna be in the A tier. You guys may have watched my dungeon countdown video earlier in March, And the 3 Aquila dungeons were in my top 5 dungeons. They're all very cool, memorable dungeons. They're quite difficult, to say the least, but just Aquila dungeons are really cool. They have really good gear. They're very memorable farming spots. And the music, theming, all very cool. Dare I say, the Wizard Aquila is better than the Pirate Aquila, but again, we will discuss Pirate Worlds in a different video. So next up, we have Chrysalis. You guys all know how everyone feels about Chrysalis. This one's going in the F tier. And I don't know if I even really need to explain why. Chrysalis is so long and drawn out. The plot is so drawn out, it doesn't even make sense after a while. It just all kind of blends together. And you just really want the world to end. It's also a very hard world. There's a lot of bosses in there that cheat. It's just generally not a good time. It's the first time splitting a world into 2 parts, so that's probably how it ended up being so long. But you start there at like level 90, and then you don't finish until like level 105. It's very long. And yeah, but it is the end of the Morganth arc. And I do enjoy that battle with Morganth. It's a very cool one. Alright, so up next we have Darkmoor. Darkmoor is going to be C tier. So Darkmoor is, again, it's a very cool dungeon. I like the whole Halloween aesthetic they have going on there, but it's the gear is also very cool, but it's so hard. The cheats are pretty hardcore. It's not as memorable as Aquila, just because Aquila kind of had more of a optimistic, like heroic theme, whereas Darkmoor was very like somber and honestly a little bit depressing. But the gear is what keeps it from being F tier, honestly. Actually, you know what? Darkmoor is going up to B. It's going up to B. It is pretty memorable and cool. So yeah. Next up we have Polaris. I think I'm gonna throw this one in A tier. We haven't really had much in the A column yet. So yeah. Polaris is honestly, I think Polaris has a really good like world length. Um it's it's paced pretty well. The plot is cool. The one thing that keeps it from being S tier is it's just it's not as memorable as these in my opinion. But Polaris is definitely in like the top 5 worlds for me. Mainly because, Polaris was first mentioned in Pirate, so I was going into it with a lot of already understood context. So yeah, next up we have the Arcanum, and some of you guys may be questioning as to why this would be a rank, but it's on there because it's a world. So I'm putting it in the B tier, mainly because it's actually, Arcanum is going to be in the B tier. It's entirely indoors. Um, but from what we've seen about it, it's really cool. It's like very lore heavy. Um, But again, we haven't seen much of it, so I'm putting it in B because it's in the pretty average section. So yeah, that I don't have much else to say about the Arcanum. The professors are all pretty intriguing, and the whole history with the Cabal again is pretty good plot stuff. So yeah. Next up we have Mirage. Mirage is going into the, oh god, C or F. I'm gonna put it actually in the F. I've really grown to dislike Mirage. It's one of those more dragged out long worlds, and it's repetitive. Every dungeon you go into, it's like 3 battles. It's exhausting, to say the least. And the plot is pretty convoluted. So, I'm not a huge fan of Mirage. I do think it looks really cool, like aesthetically, and they have some pretty good references to like Star Wars and history of like the Middle East, and they have some biblical references in there, which I can appreciate being a Christian. But anyways, Mirage overall is just it's more than it needed to be. Like if you cut it off at like half to 2/3 of the length, it would have been a lot better, I think. But it's just so long. So Imperia. Imperia is gonna be another A tier world. Um, I like Imperia because of just all the lore. It is a bit dragged out though. So actually, I'm gonna put it in B, only because it's so dragged out. Um, I would like it if Imperia was a bit shorter, personally. So yeah, but the lore in Imperia is very cool. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it back up at A because the lore just brings it up that much. So yeah, Imperia will be in the A tier. It might be behind Polaris though, just because of how long Imperia is. Um, so yeah. I'm not gonna spoil Imperia because it's a relatively new world, within the last few years. I don't want to spoil too much for you guys. Caramel is gonna be another C tier world. Um, so Caramel, the plot is really weird. You go there for like the Cabal political conference, which I find to be the most interesting part of the story. And all the cavity shows up and swallows the old one. Oh, I'm spoiling stuff. Never mind. But yeah. So the cavity swallows up the old one, and uh then the rest of the world were like kind of ignoring that and creating like a socialist revolution and like overthrowing the government slash uh corporate overlords, which is like I don't know about that because I don't really align with that politically. So Caramel just kind of felt weird to me. Um, I did like some of the lore about the gobblers though. That was pretty cool. And also the cavity stuff I found pretty interesting. Now, lastly, we have Lamilia, the newest world. I'm gonna throw this one. Oh gosh. I've been debating this one in my head for a while. I'm actually gonna put it in the S tier. Lamilia was just, if you guys watch the series, you would know. I love Lamilia. The storyline was so good. Um, there's a lot of like really deep philosophical stuff going on and all that good stuff. The spells are really interesting, and the whole story with the old one and his weird cult like overlording over Lamilia and all the social commentary was really good. The plot was also pretty good. The length also, I think, was um, really good. It was about the same length as like Polaris and Caramel, which I think were all ideal lengths for worlds. So I hope they continue with that trend. But yeah, that is the end of the tier list. I actually created this template myself on the website, as you can see. Template by Toby Dragonblade, which is me. So I will put the link to this down in the description if you guys want to do the tier list yourself. Because and also I would like to hear you guys' feedback in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next video when we do this for Pirate 101. So I'll have to go in and make a template for Pirate Worlds. But yeah, so I will see you guys in the next video. Leave a like, comment below, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And bye, guys.